Some events leave a deep mark on history, but none on the land. This is the site of the Battle of Hastings. After almost 1,000 years, no traces of the bloody conflict can be seen. But here, the fate of England turned. It's where a king was killed, and his victor claimed the throne. October 14th, 1066. We know what happened here on this day, thanks to this. The Bayeux Tapestry. A carefully preserved, illustrated record of events. It shows the main players. Harold, the newly crowned Anglo-Saxon King of England, and his challenger, William, Duke of Normandy. William claimed the previous king had promised him the crown. So, he assembled an army and prepared to sail to England to fight King Harold for the throne. But a storm thwarted his plans. Meanwhile, Harold discovered that a Viking invasion had landed in the north. Another threat to his crown. So he raced to fight them. In France, William waited for the right conditions to sail across the Channel to England. The weather cleared. He seized his chance. "250 miles north, Harold had defeated the Vikings. Now, hearing of William's arrival, his army sped south. At 9 o'clock in the morning, on this hill, William's Norman army were ready to do battle with Harold's Anglo-Saxon men. The stage was set, and up for grabs, England itself. On October 14th, 1066, William of Normandy stood ready for battle at the base of a hill. The high ground belonged to King Harold of England and his Anglo-Saxon army. Here, on this hilltop, the fate of England would be decided.
Soyez prêts, compagnons. Je suis votre service.
William's Norman army made the first charge, launching a direct assault on the shield wall. Though William's army fought fiercely against the shield wall, it would not yield. As one man fell, another took his place. Overlapping shields in tight formation made for a near impenetrable barrier. Realizing his army could not break the shield wall, William called for a retreat. He aimed to lure the Anglo-Saxons into a false sense of victory, causing them to break formation. William's feigned retreat was working. The Anglo-Saxon army broke their shield wall formation, leaving gaps for William to make a move. With Harold's men no longer in shield wall formation, William could pick them off as they charged. The Anglo-Saxons had deployed rows of spearmen to push back the invaders, but William had an answer: his sharp-eyed archers. More Norman men-at-arms reinforced William's army. Anglo-Saxon archers joined the fray, and the Normans' deadly cavalry ready to charge. But first, William's forces had to eliminate the enemy spearmen, whose sturdy polearms could easily bring down a horse. With the threat of spearmen cleared from the field, William's cavalry was free to charge at the Anglo-Saxon archers. The Anglo-Saxon army was in disarray. Their shield wall had been neutralized, and their numbers were dwindling. Now the only thing standing between William and victory was King Harold himself. The last of Harold's men encircled their king, prepared to lay down their lives to save his. More Norman cavalrymen took to the field. The Anglo-Saxon King Harold had fallen. In the confusion, some loyal soldiers fought to the death, while others scattered in panic. Leaderless and defeated, the last of the Anglo-Saxon army fled for their lives. The Normans celebrated victory over the English king, but William's quest to rule England was just beginning. Battle of Hastings, the death of one man changed the course of history. The Anglo-Saxon King Harold was killed here, on England's south coast. His army defeated by William of Normandy. Anglo-Saxon rule was over forever. At Westminster Abbey on Christmas Day 1066, William was crowned the first Norman King of England. Now he had to secure power across the country. He began by stamping his mark on the landscape, building cathedrals and castles at strategic locations. Nothing like them had been seen in England before. They reminded the Anglo-Saxon population exactly who was in charge. But not all were content with living under Norman rule. Anglo-Saxon revolts broke out across the country. King William acted quickly to crush these rebellions. But there was one region where dissent was spiraling out of control: the north of England. In 1069, a group of lords from Northumbria formed an alliance with Viking invaders. Together, they approached Norman-held York, a large city with an important cathedral, still protected by ancient Roman walls. But the walls couldn't save York. The city and the castle fell to the rebels. William's new kingdom was under threat. He had to get the city back under Norman control. William had no choice but to order his men north. But as the Norman forces set off on their long march towards York, how much resistance from the rebels would they encounter? William the Conqueror marched north, with his army of Normans determined to take back the rebel-held city of York. But in his path stood rebel towns that harbored William's northern enemies. He would take the towns back by force.
Incontinent. Sicum vos voltae. Certes. Pour vostre service. Quando je commande, avant. Avant, compagnon. Apertisez votre courage, compagnon. Ici!
The Normans captured the town of Middlethorpe, establishing their presence in the north. With reinforcements to his armies soon arriving, William would need more resources to supply them.
What? Vado. Escolto. Ambulo. Che?
Tuts!
Sì?
Okest!
Escolto.
Movans! Ubi vado? Ma sono.
Conquest.
Me? Spero. Laburo.
Spero. Si. Pochedo. Secco.
Finite.
Me? Spero. Laburo. Baked.
The Norman army was now well supplied by a town,
Laburo.
but it would take a sustained effort to keep the army at full
Je suis
strength.
votre serveuse. Je suis votre serveuse. Quand je commande, avance. Je vais vos ordres. Avertissez votre courage. Retrayez vos avoués. Avertissez votre courage, compagnon. Avant, compagnon. Certes. Quand je commande, avant. Certes. Je suis votre service. Pour destruire l'hiver. Tous sommes prêts.
With the Fulford rebels eliminated, William was one step closer to York.
Ne tardies, colonnes. Si.
Knowing he would face strong resistance in the city, William prepared to bolster his cavalry.
Vado. Vado caver.
Momentessier. Colonne. Para, quitamus. Comprendo. Si. Labourance la terre.
Escolto. Si, laburo.
Escol con me. Bene. Quod ambulo. Laburo. Spero. Ubi vado. Colonne sperant. Me? Edifico. Escolto, vado. Edifico. Si, labura. Pochedo. Me? Masono. Préparat.
L'œuvre trayette vos amoués. Obé.
The Norman army came under attack from a new enemy, the Danes. William's army held back the Danes' attack,
Je suis
but they
votre
threatened to
servant.
return unless William paid them in gold.
Avertissez votre terrain, compagnons.
Escolto. Sí, comprendo. Sí, cavo. Vamos, valetus. Come sono le cose? Intendo. Con le squadre. La chiedersi poi. Cos'è sarà massonata?
Escolte bene. Bene fatto.
Vado lavorare. Si somme. Quelle. Come sono le cose?
William's reinforcements from the south had arrived, adding vital numbers to his Norman army.
Parat pour venir. Ascoltez me.
Felice et Béa.
Toutes audite. Vado lavorare.
Convaincu.
E c'è temps de retournar. Cos'è sarà massonata?
E ce li manca.
Quedman cavaliers.
Bene.
Access avant, compagnons. Retrayez vos...
Audite. In avant. La vita in alto! Arrière parade! Audience! Emmanuel, arrière in avant! Encore parade! Vado! Arrière parade! Bene audio! Demandes!
Acte, je suis votre serveuse. Avertissez votre courage, compagnons. Avant, compagnons. Retrayez vos avoués. Quand je commande, avant. Certes. Quand je commande, avant. L'heure est à votre service. Si comme vos voldrez. Incontinent.
The Normans discovered the source of the Danes' threat, an outpost on the water. William had a choice: bypass the encampment, destroy it, or pay the Danes the gold they demanded.
Arquière ambulance.
À la forme, chevalier! C'est comme votre voudrez!
Go parade. Faut demander.
In destroying the Dane outpost, William stripped the rebels of a crucial ally.
Attention.
Pour votre service. Je suis votre serveuse.
Préparate. Audite. In avant, serviente.
William's ultimate goal was within his grasp. All that remained was to enter York and destroy its keep.
Sì, parade.
Quito.
Archier diligence.
Quella. Sì, bene. Laboranza in Lima.
Archier parade.
Quid ordines. In avant.
Homes, preparate. Obedio.
Accept vos, compagnon. Vede audit. Retraiets vos amway. Sicum vos valdres. Avant, compagnon. Apertisets vostre courage, compagnon. Apertisets vostre courage, compagnon. Quand je commande, avant. Retraiets vos amway. Avant, compagnon.
Audit.
Arco parade.
Accept continent. Apertisets vostre courage, compagnon.
The Norman army poured into York and began sacking the town as they bore down on the keep.
Attention, Cito.
The keep fell to the Norman army, and York was secured. The Northern Rebellion was over, and William the Conqueror was uncontested as King of England. William the Conqueror had recaptured York from the rebels. Now he wanted to teach them a lesson for defying him. He began a brutal campaign of destruction to crush any further resistance, known as the Harrying of the North. Villages and crops were destroyed. It is said 100,000 people were killed. With ruthless efficiency, William the Conqueror had secured obedience in his new kingdom. But it wasn't to last. It would be thrown into chaos by his own children. When William the Conqueror died in 1087, his favorite son succeeded him, King William II, known as William Rufus. But 13 years into his reign, disaster struck. While out hunting, he was killed. William's youngest brother took his place as King Henry I. But there was a problem. At the time, Henry's elder brother, Robert, Duke of Normandy, had been on crusade. When he returned, he was furious that Henry had grabbed the throne. From Normandy, Robert attempted to invade England to claim the crown from his brother. But he failed and returned home. In retaliation, Henry struck back. In a reversal of 1066, he crossed the Channel and invaded Normandy, intent on undermining his brother Robert's rule. His first target was Bayeux. This rich and splendid city was one of the jewels of Normandy. Henry was to begin his campaign by unleashing his forces on the city. Bayeux was about to feel the wrath of the English army. In the brotherly feud over Normandy, King Henry I set out to make an example of Bayeux, a town still loyal to his brother Duke Robert. Henry's archers took up position on high ground outside the city and faced an immediate attack by Robert's cavalry patrol. Having deployed their palings, Henry's archers were well protected against the cavalry charge. They defeated the first patrol. As Henry set his sights on burning Bayeux, more reinforcements arrived to join his army.
Yes. Bayeux death me.
Obis, ik kan gaan. Iedere jaar, waarin nu? Het is zitten voor actus.
Flabuga, strelbord.
Remengan, Rignu. Stay here with
Strelbora, si nu turkes, sabuga, strelbord, equilla.
Inte till fortfarande fräckes. Mitt valdenes. I shall leda. Avsvitt.
The English approached Bayeux and saw that its towering stone walls would not be breached by manpower alone. Henry would need siege equipment and a defensible location to construct it.
fortwarande fräckes, mit valdenes. Und redet nu, Tullis. Vi shall leda ja. At mina word, fäder. Und redet nu, Tullis. At mina word, fäder. Looking at me be ready, fräckes. Get to the ready for Fortwarande fräckes, mit valdenes, vi shall leda jou!
Henry now called for the services of a blacksmith to bolster the siege effort.
Facende wudu. Yes, sir. West to Hala. Off each a gap. That Shule Bayo Timbran. Yes, Ferende nu.
Look at jou fortwarande fräckes. Hirat neus, vi shall leda.
What's her face, eh? Yar, yeah, each a willer. Each a worker. And you Ferende nu. And you worker.
With a blacksmith on hand, Henry's infantry would soon be ready to construct siege equipment.
Each brookie that.
What's their fate, eh?
Yaru to work.
Henry's presence on the doorstep of Bayeux would not go unanswered, and now his forces braced for an attack by Robert's army.
Fair enough. Strail born, ja.
Henry's infantry could now construct battering rams, siege weapons designed to break open fortress walls.
Strelboren, järva. Tätti abuga, strelboren.
What's heading on?
With the power of battering rams, the English army could crack open Bayeux's mighty walls.
Vi shall leda ja. Fortwarande fräckes, mit valdenes. Duteis nan borden. At mina word, fäder. Und redet nu, Tullis. At mina word, fäder.
From Gende onward till it should.
Ram jaru.
Jamida Hessa.
Biedu siaru wergende. Garumba. Underpanda, Hildeshop, beyond
Oscala, Hedagon.
Strelboran, foliente, hesa.
Bien, beginner. Bien, Sana.
At avidente swacket.
Wait, it's never to hear it!
nu, Tulkas. Nu, we shall lay the
Bayer's walls had failed, and Henry's men could now storm the city. Robert's garrison made a last stand to defend Bayeux, but Henry would show no mercy in cutting them down and burning their city.
Sterande. Leoda, Hersa. Verde, me. Leon, me. Warnia, each a river.
Check the shot from there! Knippers! In the attack! Utrida nu, Tulkas! Alla chicken! Underfonder! What's up beyond that?
Nu is. List Baron.
Paso Brites! Ja!
As Bayeux burned and the people fled in terror, King Henry basked in the victory over his brother Duke Robert. But Henry would not stop until all of Normandy was back under the English crown. While Bayeux burned, King Henry pressed his advantage. Seizing key fortifications and buying the loyalty of powerful lords, Henry loosened his brother's grip over Normandy. At Tinchebray in 1106, brother would fight brother for final claim to their father's lands. Determined to claim Normandy and capture his brother, Duke Robert, King Henry besieged the castle at Tinchebray. But the direct assault on the formidable stone castle was failing. Unable to breach the towering walls, the king devised a new plan to capture his brother. Henry would force Robert to defend his lands from attack by razing the villages of Martigny and Fresnes.
At mina word, Fereth, fortfarande fräckes, mitt baldenes. I shall leda jag. Ut rideth nu, Tulkas. At mina word, Fereth. Ut rideth nu, Tulkas.
To goad Robert out of his stronghold, Henry's men would burn the village to the ground.
Ström! Und Bundestrailung!
Jetzt sind die ready. Alles mit.
The village of Martigny was destroyed, but still Robert did not emerge to face Henry outside the castle. Henry would have to raise the stakes. Next, he targeted the village of Fresnes.
Surface.
Henry could buy reinforcements from nearby allies if he could procure the gold to pay them.
Alles mit.
Henry received word that Robert had sent for a fresh army to aid in defending his position at the castle. Henry had to eliminate these new forces before they could combine with the garrison at Tinchebray. Henry sent gold to his ally in men and received fresh reinforcements. Henry paid his ally in Tosny and received a regiment of soldiers. By eliminating Robert's incoming army, Henry had thwarted his brother's attempt at strengthening the castle's defences. Henry sent gold to his ally in Brittany, and in return, a detachment arrived to bolster his numbers.
Leone, Herrscher.
Fortwardebreckers mit Baldenes.
Yeah, where we get cometh on.
It is sitter for a...
Dute is none more dead.
Ut readeth nu, Tulkas. Fortwardebreckers mit Baldenes. But mean a word. Fed. Andente to serve. Certus. Ut readeth nu, Tulkas. We shall lay them out. We shall lay them out. But mean a word. Fed. Fortwardebreckers.
Andente to serve.
Listen to God.
Hasu Kniefes, ja!
At the hands of Henry's army, the village of Fresnes was in ruins. Henry's provocations had paid off. Robert finally emerged from the castle to face his brother in open battle.
Ich liebe to hear it. Alles with. Ich liebe to hear it. Ut readeth nu, Turkis. At mean a word. Ich shall lede ja. Andente to serve. Duce is none for dead. Fourth guarde freques. Mit baldenes. Ich shall lede ja.
King Henry's tactic of luring Robert into the open had worked. Henry captured his brother, and Normandy was his. William the Conqueror's sons had resolved their long feud over Normandy, with King Henry wresting possession away from his brother. But the French King Louis VI would not accept Henry's heir as the future Duke of Normandy. Henry's fragile power would face its first test, an invasion by the French king. In the disputed countryside between Normandy and France, a smouldering farmstead gave away the beginnings of a French invasion. At the head of the vast army stood King Louis of France himself. An English scout hastily rode to inform King Henry of England, who was still en route to defend his borders. Hearing of the threat, villagers and guards fled their English-held towns and retreated to the stronghold of Fleury. Above all, the English forces in Normandy had been commanded to hold the town of Fleury and await King Henry's arrival.
Forward ahead.
Yeah.
As the village of Crescenville fell, all English hopes lay in holding Fleury for the king's arrival.
Estes comende.
Red Demon.
Here.
Of where is that? Jaru to work. Yeah, it's your will.
Yer rit nu.
Estes commende. Each a willa hue would do.
Patas yanda!
What will town?
Norway.
You are. On where is that? Red Demon. Gadriende Wudu.
Yarway Yawaller. And your worker.
The town of Granville succumbed to the French, and the English were pushed back towards Fleury.
What's her faith then? What's her faith then?
Fair done.
Ike om your selling.
On Muna.
Strabor, Paragongat on way.
On it is earthlich. Fara.
Strail bor Yaru.
And your worker.
And you work it.
Beodeth me Onsterende. Strail
What's the
bor
faith, eh?
Yaru.
What will come? Yes, sir. Is it?
And you work it.
Beodeth. Strail Fuse. Flamboga Arod. Strail bor and Yaru.
Let us be ready. So it's the virtue.
And your worker. Each a worker.
What's the faith, eh?
At last, King Henry and his forces made their arrival at Fleury.
It is Sita shall lay. Garwiga.
Nimende to Maskayarwas! Finite! Utride nu!
Knowing that King Louis himself was on the field, Henry saw his chance to put England's claim to Normandy beyond doubt.
Reach Timbra Thales. Hier, vi vare ett vi beboter.
Nu, Tulke, ut readeth nu.
Han grepet for Hestes.
Hestes for this reader. Fed. He shall lede jou. He shall lede jou. Fortwarde frekkes, mit baldenes.
What needeth be undone? Flockende woodus, ferende sua.
Now, sweet and pay attention!
Frekkes.
It's living to hear now! Honor Victoria! Today is not for that!
Alle Smith.
Reader, await tender Hestes.
It's live to hear. Ut readeth nu, Tulkes. At mean a word. Fed.
Hearkeneth all! There is no there, He could be the after night.
Arthur Canifles, at mean a word. Attend to serve. Duty is none for death. Shall they? Ut readeth nu, Tulkes.
King Henry's men struck at the French forces and recaptured the town.
Fortwarde frekkes, mit baldenes. At mean a word.
Hestes!
Nu, Tulkes, setet je fortwarde frekkes, mit baldenes. At mean a word. Fed. Ut readeth nu, Tulkes. Alle Smith. Fortwarde frekkes, mit baldenes. It's live to hear. He shall lede.
It's in Chetendeus!
Fed.
Chiere, Asterian.
It is ut readeth nu, Tulkes. Duty is none for death. That mean a word. Fed. Fortwarde frekkes, mit baldenes.
With the border towns recaptured, King Henry's claim to Normandy faced only one more obstacle: King Louis and his army. In the humble peasants' fields of Bremune, two kings would settle their claim to Normandy.
records. Fortwarden records. Mit Mardenes.
God's swinker.
Tres sappiamo, Estes come sta. Estes and all.
Far from home, but rallied by their king, the English army forced a French surrender and put King Louis and his knights to flight. With the impromptu battle ending in resounding victory for the English, King Henry had secured his ancestral lands under the English crown. After England defeated the French at the Battle of Bremule, Normandy was back in King Henry's hands. But 1 year later, his good fortune turned to tragedy. In 1120, his son and heir William Adelin died in a shipwreck. The future of Henry I's kingdom was in jeopardy. Henry desperately needed a new heir. With no legitimate sons left alive, he broke with tradition and chose his daughter, Matilda. Henry forced his barons to swear an oath to accept Matilda as queen. But when the king died, they broke their promise. England would not be ruled by a woman. Matilda's cousin Stephen saw his chance and claimed the throne. The crisis moved to the capital. At Westminster Abbey, Stephen was crowned king, but Matilda wanted what was hers. She was also lining up powerful supporters who would fight Stephen for her right to rule. Their conflict engulfed England in civil war. Fighting raged throughout the land. In 1141, everything focused on one of the kingdom's most strategic cities, Lincoln. Matilda's allies had commandeered the castle. But King Stephen was determined to take it back. He besieged the castle. Stalemate. As dawn broke on February the 2nd, everything was about to change. Matilda's half-brother, Robert of Gloucester, raced to break the siege. As Robert's forces approached Lincoln, Stephen's army turned away from the castle to face them. Robert could win Matilda the crown, but only if his army could win the day. Robert of Gloucester's forces approached Lincoln. Their task, to liberate the castle from King Stephen's siege. While behind Lincoln's walls, troops loyal to Matilda held the castle for the Empress. First, Robert's forces would stage an ambush to prevent enemy reinforcements from joining with King Stephen's army.
Ich fortsätte es.
Essa skulle be here. Ich obey thine hess.
Robert's men concealed themselves in a sheltered grove and lay in wait for the enemy.
Fenders! He's sending near me!
Robert defeated the first column of Stephen's reinforcements, but he knew more were on the way.
Ich fortsätter hess. Essa skulle be here.
Tacketh upp din armes. And shanketh forth of the. Geva away to faren. Which do us so to hettest. Beth not slew.
With more of Stephen's reinforcements eliminated, Robert was steadily undermining the siege.
Ich obey thine hess. Fereth to ur ende, men of armes. Travail to dawn, men of armes. Which do us so to hettest. Hesse shullen be herren.
Ich tue so du hättest. Ich obey thine hess.
Men of armes, we ben verende ute.
Ich swear es.
We have it weer again!
Robert's men decimated King Stephen's reinforcements and were poised to break the siege. Continuing the push towards Lincoln, Robert sent in a large company of reinforcements to aid his vanguard. To further weaken the siege, Robert would need to cut off Stephen's supplies. He targeted the nearby market town.
Yes. Hestes cometh. Sueth he hette. Foliente hestes. Nutan, cometh on.
Fenders! He's sending near me!
Heriende hestes nu. Sueth he hette. And sweet, yes.
Matilda's cause, a large group of knights arrived at Lincoln to bolster Robert's army. With the market town in ruins, King Stephen's supplies began to dwindle. Robert received word that Welsh troops under Matilda's banner were en route to join forces with him. But King Stephen had the roads to Lincoln heavily guarded, and the route was not without risk, even for the hardy Welshmen. Making their way to Lincoln, Matilda's Welsh allies were ambushed by the king's soldiers. Robert's men would need to aid the Welsh if they wanted their help in breaking the siege. Joining forces on the road to Lincoln, Matilda's allied troops made for the castle to lift the siege.
Andente to serve. Fourth guarde freques, mit baldenes. Jute is non morden. Ut readeth nu, Julius. Alles with you. He shall lay the young. Ich live to hear it. Certes. Let me no word. Certes. Is not for dead. He shall lay the young. Ut readeth nu, Julius. Certes. Andente to serve. Alles with.
Robert's forces spotted a large detachment of Stephen's soldiers guarding the castle gates. If they hoped to liberate Lincoln, they would need to break the blockade and rout the army. Robert's forces scattered the king's army, leaving the gates to the castle unguarded.
Fourth guarde freques, mit baldenes. Ut readeth nu, Julius.
Robert's men finally united with Lincoln's garrison. They could now use the castle to strengthen their army. To lift the siege, they needed to destroy the enemy camps surrounding the castle.
Fuste tulkas, it can do.
It is readeth nu, Tulkas. Ad mina worda ferreth. Freckes. Ut readeth nu, Tulkas. For what they freckes. Mit barbenes. Där! Sweden med upp till och tänder! In the motion! Häfte i kannet! Knippes! In the motion!
Matilda's forces struck hard, destroying one of King Stephen's siege camps. King Stephen's army dwindled as Matilda's forces struck down another siege camp.
It shall day.
Intenti botas.
Obisium.
Glidande ne hurteth no one near Adal.
Rita, ik heel doe dat nu. Ik ham on min way. Bill then day that Rita.
Yeah, Estes. Wow, servant shattered. Urban and Shanyard. Boa, even sweeter, yes, sir. Hester, do that. Pull upon. Hediende, Hester, do. Ted, Dwindler. Barrett. Hester, come on, Harveyman. Yahweh's dress of Yasteria. Brate har. Sur their heads.
Requiem shall lede ja.
Boom to hear. Yes, sir. Ishil.
What wilt thou?
Ishil Enon.
An
Some
aret
crossbow on the
It is Sitha who to read it.
intended nu, Tulkas.
Fort Warde Freckes. Mit Baldenes.
See they to work.
See fate to fair and loose.
What wilt thou?
If you'll have it that in building or not.
Rita, what needeth be undone?
What needeth be undone?
Yet at mean a word. Sir. At mean a word. Fire. Who readeth no books.
Something to Shetton.
Hey, everybody chat! Yeah.
See thief, safe stareth uta every time. Hold that to answer.
Spana Mondi Lord.
Build ende that Rita new.
At mean a word. Fire.
An a freshe marker. Is ik am ferende nu.
Nu to Fort Warde Freckes. Mit Baldenes. At mean a word. Fire. And then go to serve. Fort Warde Freckes. Mit Baldenes. Soltas! Arthur Knieglis! Ja! Spiller door de fire!
Men of Rusty!
Fort Warde Freckes. Mit Baldenes. Utrida It is he shall day. Knieglis! In the attack!
The king's army was scattered, and those who didn't fall fled. King Stephen was spotted, shielded by his men. To end the siege, Matilda's forces needed to capture Stephen and rout his army.
Kemper, anon Rita.
Nu, Tulkas, setet ja, ut readeth nu, Tulkas.
Hestes and Swiss. Yes. And yeah.
Wunderbar, Rasa.
Matilda's men closed in and finally captured King Stephen.
We shall lay them. Let me a word. Said.
Matilda's forces had won the battle at Lincoln. But the fight for the crown was not over yet. Victory over King Stephen at Lincoln gave Matilda the upper hand in her fight for the English crown. But in the years that followed, fragile loyalties shifted, and under threat of capture, Matilda was forced to retreat. As her holdings in England came under attack from the king's army, it fell to her son Henry to keep Matilda's claim to the throne alive. Inside the strong stone walls of the castle at Wallingford, Matilda's men held firm against a brutal siege by forces loyal to King Stephen. King Stephen's army had constructed a fortified perimeter outside the castle, trapping Matilda's men inside. However, reinforcements were on the way from Matilda's son Henry. Her forces needed to hold the walls until they arrived. Hoping to crack the mighty stone walls of Wallingford, King Stephen's forces launched another attack. King Stephen's forces breached the wall and pushed into Wallingford. Matilda's men needed to repel the enemy before the castle fell and their cause was lost.
If he'll do that,
Matilda's forces repelled the attack and held the castle.
Yahweh Shetan.
see thee to work. Yeah, so are they hetting.
Matilda's forces held firm against the attack, cutting down the enemy soldiers.
You ready for Hestus? Say moving these sash
At last, Henry's reinforcements approached Wallingford. United under Matilda's banner, the two armies were ready to engage Stephen's forces.
Look at you at me no word. Fella, he shall lay the yow.
Tulka! Any other gun they can push him. Steer away, Allah.
Yare to Don's Harkin at Tharler. Tun folk, Aster if yaw.
Sweden, they are scared. Dimende to what I always!
He'll build they that for they. Arita, bay off yard to Hestus Tun folk. Build them they that Rita new. Tun folk already ready.
Ah, look at it,
Nu, he shall lay the yow. Adita Yora armes, for Ferrer. Ich habe Warner for Warner Records. Mit Warner. Get that busy.
Henry and Matilda's forces struck out at the besieging army, weakening the enemy's hold on Wallingford's perimeter.
Arita, what Verende Sue ahead. He'll have that building a knot. Bay off yard to Hestus Tun folk. He'll build a that for they.
Hark, Bennett! Tulka!
Look at you, be ready.
Yeah?
It is
See them to Baron.
No, Tulkas.
Steer away, Allah.
Who's it to serve?
Seja engine yard.
Yeah, ik kan gaan.
Send them back to Mina.
Ah, look at it, yeah, for Warner Records. Mit Wilderness. Today's number done.
Dimende to what I always!
Our today's number done.
Sage engines await Hestus.
The enemy line wavered as Matilda's forces cut down the besieging army, clearing another section of the blockade.
Boa is Iboon.
Build shield it!
Look jag får Walden Freckers. Mitt Waldenes. Att mina ord. Read it through, please. All is with you.
Send them in!
Matilda's forces overwhelmed the enemy and cleared the castle's perimeter.
Jätten får Walden Freckers. Mitt Waldenes.
What needeth be undone? Be on, we are Feranuta to we have a seven.
All honest with you.
We haven't seen a gun!
Put a mill sail.
Dimende too much airway! Go
Defense work.
It is secret.
It shall land!
Grace at yourself.
Redirect. Await tender Hestus.
The joint forces of Matilda and Henry had thwarted King Stephen's siege of the strategic castle at Wallingford. After over a decade of conflict, Matilda's claim to the throne was still alive. At Wallingford, in the shadow of the castle, Matilda's faction, commanded by her son Henry, proved it was still willing to fight King Stephen for the crown. But after 15 years of conflict, both sides had had enough. So, they made a deal. Matilda would surrender her claim to the throne on condition that when Stephen died, her eldest living son Henry would succeed him. A year later, he was crowned King Henry II and proceeded to grow the kingdom into the mighty Angevin Empire. But, once again, what the king had spent his life building, his own children were destined to destroy. King Henry II had 4 surviving legitimate sons, and he planned to divide up his kingdom between them. But they fought bitterly for dominance. Against the odds, Henry's youngest son, John, became king. But King John was deeply unpopular. He lost huge swathes of the Angevin Empire gained by his father, then failed to reclaim them in expensive battles. Paid for by taxing his subjects. Eventually, England's barons could take it no more. They forced John to agree to a charter that restricted his power. The Magna Carta. But he went against his word. Furious, they rebelled, inviting Prince Louis of France to invade England. In 1216, Louis sailed to Dover and set his sights on taking this: Dover Castle. Held by forces loyal to King John, it was commanded by Hubert de Burgh. He described the castle as the key to England. He was right. If it fell to the French, so would the kingdom. Asked to invade by the rebel barons, Prince Louis's French army launched an assault on the castle at Dover. Opening a crack in the outer defences, the invading forces charged the castle walls. The garrison at Dover would meet the French with clenched fists and an iron will. Dover could not fall. Commander Hubert de Burgh rallied his men to hold back the French and defend the castle.
Boa is a boon.
Wave and shit!
While the castle's garrison thwarted the first French attack and prepared for a second, a new resistance force was building in the English countryside. A skilled bowman and fierce patriot, known as Willikin of the Weald, began to muster a resistance to the French invasion. Determined to keep the crown in King John's hands, Willikin would rally every available archer to the cause.
Freke kan du. On te potas. Better.
What needeth be undone?
Fuste tulkas sua. Heste foliende hestes.
Well, where then? Unto Shapende.
Hes heriende hestes nu. Nuthan, come upon. Glidande ner hurtas no one never down.
Wahabeth and Shafar.
Freke, kom met mij.
Tulkas, you know what comes next.
Frekes haken. Tim dwindleth. Intender frek. Al suitha, yes.
See they to work on him way.
With his bowmen assembled, Willikin planned to ambush the French siege engines on their way to the enemy camp.
Yeah, so it they hate him. See, I stare it. We haven't steadies beyond that. Stareth out there every chat.
Hestes and on. Heriende hestes nu. Here can do. Al suitha, yes. Foliende hestes. Warok servant chef.
Every host it down. If you'll build that for they.
Hestes heriende hestes nu. Bail sleepily on the stirreth. Suas they had. Foliende hestes. So they had. Al suitha, yes. Icanadu. Asteriath, Brate are. It's in Chester! Suitha is Brooklyn! Bennett out of my men! Bail sleepily on the stirreth. Fuse to Nuthan, cometh on. Yefe have any bow.
Hearkeneth all. Well, then they that.
Hearken, see they to fair loose in every chan. Del thing to do.
Unde highway ras.
Here has steppeth to it, Arway men. And sweeter, yes, sir.
Arita, what needeth worker?
Alacia! Astiria! Rante, Arway men. Steppeth to it, Arway men. Upned betteth, Arway men. Tres Yes, and jou highwayman.
Yari to Chapman. Over there, on me way. Ich am on me way.
Willikin's resistance force continued to grow, adding more skilled men to its ranks.
Well, where is that Irende thin Hester? Verende, so ahead.
Facebisto shall be hard.
Fuste tente ontifotas fereth. Freklidande ne hurteth no one near down. Tim dwindleth, fereth. Foliende hestus. Suas a head. Al suitha, yes. Heriende hestes nu. Hes I can do. Glidande ner hurteth no one never down. Dutha, cometh on. Ontifotas, fereth. Ontifotas, fereth. Heriende hestes nu.
Thy will be it.
Hestes and on more. Heriende hestes nu. Step to it, Arway then. Merlin, damn they hurteth no one never down.
Coordinated beyond Verende, so ahead. Ja, see they do. Yeah. Did the wind then? Over there, on midway. Over there, on midway. You can't
Beyond this onwards! Avoid it!
Hey, all stick now. You can have it that he building it on. Yari to check. Over there, on me way.
Facebisto shall be hard.
That's a 10-day Shafar way.
Hestes come, he can't do. Hestes on these botas. Ferret. Cometh on. Freglidande ne hurteth no never down. See ya! Barret! Foliende hestes! Hest utredende nu. Hestes and Ormborne! And Sweden gets her! Sue of their heads! He can't do! Tid dwindleth, bereth. He can do. Nuthan, cometh on. Here the Hestes! Wave the shorten! Nuthan, cometh on! Tid dwindleth, bereth. Foliende Hestes.
Leave, Hester. I will be it.
Fuste to al Suiza, yes. Sua the heta.
What needeth be undone?
Valita, what needeth worker? Where?
Yare to Don Min Way. Ikil Habi that he big.
The French launched a renewed attack on the castle. But thanks to Willikin's ambush force, the enemy had been greatly weakened.
Intenda, it can do. Sua the heta.
Willikin spotted a group of English fighters engaged in battle with the enemy and rushed to their aid.
Nu, Tulkes. Alle Switten. Look for jou and mean a word.
Let's come and hard then!
With Willikin's archers weakening the siege from outside the castle, the garrison at Dover repelled the French attack. Willikin ordered his archers to resume their strikes on the French reinforcements.
Botas! Barrett! Foliende Hestas. Al Suiza, yes. Onti Botas. Barrett. Heriende Hestes nu. Titwinla. Barrett. Foliende Hestes. Heriende Hestes nu. Each wins. It can do.
See fate to work.
Seeth ye and so is they hated. He could be only that for they.
It's in Chesendeus! Höstes kommer, Arvenen!
The Morgans are standard yard!
Nudan! Commodore! Höstes kommer, Arvenen! Ja, Höstes!
What? You're right to done some come on me toon folk, Arnie. You're right to chat, yeah. Did the way.
What needeth be undone? Yea, tid to enden. Going to pay you.
On the hard with us!
Heriende Hestes nu! It can do! Ted Dwindler! Barra! And sweet
Another bow ballad to me.
Glenande there hurt us though and never a doubt. And sweet, yes. Bone for the seat to reading. Hestes cometh, sueth they heta. Glidande ne'er hurteth no one never a doubt. Freckes haken. Nu
See they to work. Beothjardo het. That shall be ula chevisto.
Hestes kommer följande hästes. Nu then, kommer från.
It'll do that.
It is siege live to hear it.
No Hester. Each fallaway Hester.
Here, Hestes.
Tansit willa hest.
Järve Hestes steppeth to it. Press Asteriath. Bra. Here, Hestes. Ik kan du. Hjälp mig med. Hestes cometh att öppna en berth arwemen. Hestes cometh arwemen. Yes. Ontifotas, Ferrath. Här är Hestes nu. Här är Hestes. Glidande när hörtes no one nearer down.
Nu, ut readeth nu.
Intendeth, Freckes.
He shall lay.
Dress steppeth to it, Arwayman.
Ja, men av armes. Övrigt men av färret tvårende, men av armes. What needeth be undone?
Fustet Winleth, Bereth. Luthan, Comathon. Ontifotas, Bereth. Heriende Hestes nu. Glidande när hörteth no one nearer down. Suas ahead.
It is Sita for Actus.
Here, fulliende Hestes.
Look how be ready, friend.
Reader, await ende Hestes.
Boomsihi. Boa is Iboon. Frekan du. Glidande ne hurtas no never die. Yes.
Willikin's archers had decimated the French reinforcements. But undeterred, the French mustered what troops they could and launched another attack on the castle.
It can do. Twin left. Better. Foliende Hestes. Glidande ner hurtas no one ever can. Sua the het.
The hardy English garrison held fast, refusing to let the castle fall to the French invaders. Willikin rallied his archers to continue strikes on the weakening French.
Astyria! Rate, Hardwaymen! Intenti votas, Vera. Nuthan, Comathon. Nuthan, Comathon. Upned Bereth, Hardwaymen. Al Suiza, yes. Astyria, Rate, Hardwaymen. Fuste Tulkas, Tidwinle, Bereth. Intended, Onti Votas, Bereth. Hestes Eoth Lipoli, on the Stirreth. Upned Bereth, Hardwaymen. Astyria, Fus Lidande ne hurtas no never down. Onte Votas, Bereth. Dresseth jou, Hardwayman. Foliende Hestes. Steppeth to it, Hardwayman. Hestes cometh. Sueth he het. Hestes cometh, Hardwayman. Foliende Hestes. Freckes haken, glidande ne hurtas no never down. Hiereth Hestes, Beoth Lipoli, on the steer fuse tulke, Nuthan, Comathon, Hestes and all it can do. Entende, heriende Hestes nu. Tidwinleth, Hestes cometh, Hardwaymen, Uplen, and sweet, yes. We can do. Hierfan heriende Hestes nu. Sueth they heta. And sweet, yes, sir. Tidwinleth, Hestes, Hestes. Hestes cometh, Hardwaymen. Jonas, Jare, Tunnel. Hestes, Nuthan, Comathon. Every children get done. Yardway shattered. Tresset ja Arwayman! We hear all that Kierenkas! Hestes en ordmålen! Hestes Kjere Hestes! Beop Dibbeli! Ordestir! Ordne et vellet Arwayman! Stemmert to it Arwayman! Tresset ja Arwayman! Hestes stemmert to it Arwayman! Astiria! Brande Arwayman! Beop Dibbeli! Ordestir! Tresset jou Arwayman. Sewers ahead. Al Suiza, yes.
Jet fortvarde Freckes. Mit Baldenes.
Jara, on tua marca.
Hestes kommer kan du. Asterias, Brate Arwayman. Steppeth to it Arwayman. Asterias, Brate Arwayman. Voliende Hestes. Uppnäd Bäck Arwayman. Weven Tjeten! Jaren Hestes! Uppnäd Bäck Arwayman! Steppeth to it, Arwayman. Hestes en ordmål. Beos Lipeli, on the steer.
Jara, on tua marca.
What will it now? Tresset jou Arwayman. Asteria, Brate Arwayman.
Look for jou fortvarde Freckes. Mit Baldenes.
Jara, on tua marca.
Jereth Hestes. Uppnäd Bäck Arwayman. Voliende Hestes. Heriende Hestes nu.
Hispana on the loaded. Ana pressure marker.
Hestes en ordmålen. Beos Lipeli, on the steers. Steppeth to it, Arwayman. Beos Lipeli, on the steers. Asteria, Brate Arwayman. Jereth Hestes, Uppnäd Bereth Arwayman. Steppeth to it, Arwayman. steppeth to it, Arwaymen. Asteriath, Rafte Arwaymen. Beoth Leafely, on the stirreth. Upnen bereth Arwaymen. Foliende Hestes. Sweet, yes. Hestes suits of her. Dress it can do.
The combined grit of the English garrison and Willikin's surprise attacks ensured that Dover hadn't fallen yet. Now the English prepared to repel the final French assault. The tenacity of Hubert de Burgh's loyal soldiers forced Prince Louis and the rebel barons to abandon their siege at Dover. And thanks to the efforts of Willikin's fearless archers, England remained in King John's hands. Prior to the defense of Dover, King John's defiance of the Magna Carta had mired England in a rebellion known as the First Barons' War. Across England, barons broke ties with the crown and seized important cities, including Rochester. With his reign under threat, John deployed his forces to retake Rochester and capture the traitors. King John's men arrived at the outskirts of Rochester, set to retake the castle and drive out the rebel barons within. But Rochester was a formidable fortress that protected the route to London, and the rebel barons were prepared to lay down their lives to hold it. Before King John's men could hope to retake the castle, they would need to reinforce their position by capturing the village of Chatham.
Champion!
The king's men secured Chatham and began preparing for an arduous siege. Rochester's keep was protected by strong stone walls. The king's army would need mighty siege weapons to break through.
What needeth be undone? All stayed done. Ye shall have it that he parita, what needeth worker, till then they that right to know.
CC to work.
Agre ernende mina mene. Agres beom kente. We an fortgangende.
Each will. Marketh Munkas, see for the move.
He shall hell. Tempest. We an goende tulkas. Moveth, geteth busy. He kill.
What will Prende? So ahead. Here shall be in hell on.
Agre swath ahead. Ernende mina mene.
What needeth
Seething
they
worker.
undone? Yare Arita, what needeth worker? See they to worker. Ik heel builde that for they.
Tempest. Lusted for head.
Tun folk are two folk astereth jou nu. Yeah. Ik heel have
Agre beom kente. We an fortgangende.
What needeth be undone? Over there, on me way.
And 10 swath ahead. We an goende tulkas.
Tun folk are nie ready. What needeth they undone?
No! Up there, highwaylass! Dresseth thou, highwaymen!
Kemp moveth, geteth busy.
What needeth they undone?
See thee to work at.
En 10 alunganu. Ferret. Ik hear it that.
The Munka, it is see that to fair. It is see that to fair. Munkas,
Aggresseth yourself.
Send them out to me now.
Aggresseth for
the
ye.
Freren, Estes.
Alunganu. Ferret. Ik kill.
King John's forces were struck by a raiding group of rebels sallying from the castle.
Moveth, geteth busy. Moveth, geteth busy. Well, fortgangende. Ernende.
All stay on.
Hey, McLeod, crossbow.
Lord, be up in sea.
Ferret.
Yare to done some worker. Build end day that free to new.
Agretes for Hestes.
Thine, Hester.
What be a thing? Yerweth for blood Dunbala. What needeth be on? He'll do that now. What needeth be undone?
Every charm intended. Hitlock as God. Ik kill Habby that he building anon. Ik kill build they that for they.
Some work.
Crossborders! Ratchet weapons!
Teach us the way.
This shooter is D-Day late.
See that the worker. Build the Harken it all.
See things to work, that?
Intended new, Tulkes.
We just shoot. Elder Ned. Stirende nu.
Ik ga doen dat.
I bring me out Kenta. Way up front, young Gender. Hey, every John. Intended.
Yara, on to a marker.
Safe to have. Yay! So are they hattin'? Build end day that Rita knew.
Benden die zijn er niet bij.
Fools, that's your guidance me way.
Give me. Ik ga monte para. Verende suahet. Het wel de beeldo. Het wel de beeldo. Ik wil doen dat. Doende me dute. Ik ga monte para. Alrita. Ridende forth. Ik wil doen dat.
See the Hestes. A staring. We haven't steadied beyond that.
Heart Hirende Theen Hester. Build end day that Rita knew.
We dus ridende suahet. Ik ga weer found the foe.
The king's men discovered the farmlands that supplied the rebels at Rochester. If the rebels lost access to the food supplies, some of them would be forced to flee. They had the opportunity to weaken the rebellion by eliminating the castle's supplies.
Yes, Ishil. Ishil and all. My way is...
You're ready for the next one. Move in.
Send them at forth.
The shankers now what the wear. Your will is me, Dieter.
A bide our way say now habes me hunter. Where should we dress?
Dit commanded me. Ik aan. Trakke hossen seja ochtje. Vader, dat willen we ook doen.
Non-rester for the shrimp. If that was building, we build it for them. Hearken, you alla! Way out the
Ich shall obey.
With the farms alight, King John's chokehold on the rebels was tightening. With supplies critically low, the rebel commander discharged his weakest fighters, hoping to preserve what little food remained. Fearing further descent against his rule, King John ordered safe passage for the surrendered rebels away from Rochester. King John's men discovered that the castle was being resupplied by a stream of traders. Castle was being resupplied by a stream of traders.
Stirring men, they're sinking on the spoil. Nu, young men, attendant, the Hester is yet.
Intended. Estes are coming. Inform that this is building.
Correct. We will have an Hesters are not ready.
Look your way up there.
Hearken to fourth word. They hide.
ready to go.
Hearken.
Where habit and ender. Let us Baranguta.
Zijn er met die hesten spekloon? Wat wordt hier nu?
Your will is me dita.
Your hestes will be your lasten in point. Ik vaar the path of reach weak. Virtue barely handed it.
Village ready and the waiting on this weekend. And Berlin will be prepared.
The same will I be done. Mountains are moving.
Sir Jorgens, team for leaving.
We have an Hesters coming on.
Hearken all. Hest.
Jouw conquest. Nu, young men. Ik kan met you tell. Annie Hest. Harken to Hester is yet. Nitas in World Fettelno. Forte. Ich am at the command.
Says the Hestes will be obeyed. All right, you don't move it. Are they getting on it? Any weapon not this? Doing that now. With the says on ship. On it. Doing that now. On it, man. Follow in the alternatives.
Fingers always reckless mistake!
Says on ship at the river. Is a data. Paradon, follow in the alternatives.
Ready to go.
Rochester's outer wall crumbled to King John's men, and they descended on the keep.
Obeisance is me honor. Fourth well.
Cut off from all hope of resupply, more of the rebels were forced to abandon the fight.
Ich hab an Honor.
Hestes.
Let's move on, Archer!
Das moving ahead. Design is shot.
Nikas Bricken, Shottils.
Aditnjo.
Jobbe, Avrino.
Abide, jar Arwayman. We are moving. Arwayman, steer.
Breckers, Sterling. Second on the spoil.
Alla i Sergeant, team to leave it.
We have in Hestes coming on.
Kusina Hestes, Ansal on spot.
Lusten ett kropp. Keren into obey.
Oh, baby! We're moving, Bejara!
The mark is in glitter, Bjorn!
Wendit, Iomea, vidare! Iomea and Rino Fort.
Send them men to unschool.
Now rested for the Shruid. Ready to go. If he'll get this building he builded for thee. What need?
King John's men came to St. Margaret's Monastery. Although the monks would not take sides, they would provide medical care for wounded soldiers. The local market was also open to trade with Chatham.
We are taking fire, Darwin!
Hestes will be obeyed! I'll read the same!
Need another
Vi kamat, vi command!
Avida Borges och tappat glory.
Become hearkening. What is their work?
Yeah, hark ich will fall in the heste.
Ich will folgen die Heste!
Anne Heste, vi blod is still.
Come on, ich fahre the mass of
Wash and dress.
Yes, be wearing.
Be ready for the next. If he'll steal an the Hester.
Marken to Hestes, young men.
Get a school.
Alistair, all ready for Hester's.
Commanded me, and befet, let
Not rest for the shrew.
me so I will it bail. Your will is deed. The Sergeant de Hestes will be obeyed.
Arway, put on to a young man and hit Arway.
The Sergeant turn to everybody.
Yeah, you ready for moving? My shanker's now what the wearer. He bore away that hit is he builded and he builded.
Archers, let them come follow me.
Hestus an honore to Dom. Peace and welcome, Freckers. An honore to Dom. He shall do any which his own is fairly. Anites, obeisance is me honor.
Who's doing Satanon?
The great keep at Rochester fell at the hands of the King's army, securing both the castle and the route to London. While the fight for England raged on, a desperate King John clung to the throne. When forces loyal to King John undermined Rochester Castle, it spelled doom for the rebels inside. Within days, they had surrendered. But the rebel barons weren't done yet. Their ally, Prince Louis of France, had sent an invasion force to help the barons overthrow King John. Then, in late 1216, the king fell ill with dysentery and died. His son, just 9 years old, was crowned King Henry III. It was now up to the young king's regent, the 70-year-old legendary knight William Marshal, to protect the crown. He faced a near impossible challenge. England was crumbling. Rebels were taking town after town. But William Marshal bided his time and prepared to defeat the rebels. Then in May 1217, he got the chance that he'd been waiting for. William discovered that the rebels planned to simultaneously besiege both Dover Castle and Lincoln Castle. With rebel forces split and weakened, William Marshal led his royalist army to Lincoln. The castle on one side of the city was still controlled by royalists, under its formidable constable, Lady Nicola de la Haye. But the streets of the city were under rebel control. On May 20th, 1217, the Royalist Relief Force, led by William Marshal, arrived to retake the rebel-controlled city. The future of England rode on the success of this mission. Troops loyal to the king held the castle at Lincoln, while outside, rebels controlled the city. The defenders had to hold the castle until reinforcements arrived, under the command of the king's knight, William Marshal.
Every charge stareth Uta every chan, hold it at onsa. See every chan.
Yahweh Satan! Anasia! Yahweh Satan! Here Hester, step to it, Arway man!
Sista hästar i den, det är fin hästar. Större då every chance.
Yes. Dress i kapp.
Eine frische Marke.
Boa is a boom.
Spanner on the loaded.
Hester sails sleepily.
Every chance Hester shouldn't be.
Boa stirrende of sua I said. Yahweh Satan, Hester stämmer to it, Arwayman. Boa is a baby bow for Redney.
At last, the king's knight William Marshal arrived with his forces. While a hard battle remained, there was now hope for the young king's army. In order to liberate the city surrounding the castle, William Marshal commanded the king's men to destroy the military buildings belonging to the rebels.
Get thee ready for business. All is with you.
William Marshal's forces were welcomed in Stowe, a nearby town loyal to the king.
Yea, so they captain, hearken at honor. Hold it on. It comes to Del.
Uta is now for dead. Shout and dead head to serve. Thine hest prendende sua het. Service. Ich live to hear it. Apokritas, ja! Ich live to hear it! Ich shall lay ja! Vorsicht, rede vor. Duty is none more dead.
Our natives may have done. Yarring done some work here.
Der Sweden may have fair
The king's men tore through the rebel fortifications, diminishing the enemy's military presence. The castle now faced a new attack from the rebels' French allies.
Brace yourselves, walk ahead. Hästes kommer armen upp med fälthavet.
Ich rider fort! Alla finns livet till herren! Rika hårde skäckes! Mitt valdenes! Agenten till solen! Soltans! Beundrat arbetsgrupp!
If the king's men hoped to lift the French siege, they would need to destroy the enemy forts on the outskirts of Lincoln. The king's army had almost regained control of the city.
Look at you, shall lay it down. Duty is not for death. He shall lay it down.
The king's men uncovered one of the French forces' siege camps near Lincoln.
Following the artillerists. Go to work at Donnarita. Look, it's great, that.
Alma.
He can't pass the command. He can't.
The king's army tore through the French fort, weakening the enemy siege.
Our company will be welcome, Fracas. Is yet. He called me duty. He obeyed, be the left. He called me duty. He obeyed, and read a book. Fought well. They're hiding at the back. An honor to do that. Obeisance is me honor. Our company will be welcome, Fracas. He obeyed, be the left.
Hast ihr das? Ständig oder Schankes?
Ich hunger for Pekka. Hearken to Hesse, Heste is yet. Fought well. They're hiding at the back.
For the next
Yeah?
Arita every chat that I do chat. Building putting up.
On the corner over and Yakas. Help the bugger. I'm moving. Ready and waiting!
William Marshal and Nicolas de la Haye had saved the city, and with it, the kingdom. William Marshal's success in retaking Lincoln was an overwhelming victory for the Royalists. The rebel barons had been defeated, and their French allies driven out of England altogether. William Marshal now focused on creating a stable kingdom for the young King Henry III. To maintain the backing of the rebels, in 1217, a royal seal of approval was given to a reissued Magna Carta, limiting the power of the monarchy. Many barons held lands in both England and Normandy. But now they faced a choice. On which side of the Channel would they make their home? Many chose England. The cross-Channel kingdom was over, establishing a clear English identity. But the impact of the Normans on England's evolution is still felt today. Almost 1,000 years later, the surviving Norman castles and cathedrals still dominate the landscape. In the midst of the modern city, William the Conqueror's fortress, the Tower of London, remains a powerful reminder of their legacy. But it's the unseen influence of the Normans that endures. The Norman invasion changed the English language and established the foundations of modern parliament and governance. And it's all because one man, William the Conqueror, claimed the English crown that he believed by rights was his. The Normans conquered a country and changed the course of England forever.